What inspired me to become a tattoo artist was, I think more so the freedom of the art instead of having a lot of restrictions. It it does in its own sense, but it's not as typical for art. The inspiration behind my tattoos would more so be almost the traditional style tattoos, like the Sailor Jerry, Ed Hardy, um, Bowery Stan. A lot of these old school guys from the 40s, the 50s. This generation kind of paved the way for good tattooing. A tattoo artist inspires people to be themselves. So instead of inspiring them to do artwork, it inspires them to kind of collect and be themselves. If it makes them do their own art, awesome. But it's more about being themselves. My favorite part about being a tattoo artist is I just kind of fell in love with it. I love the art form. I love dealing with people and their ideas, and it really just helps me, get my own creative frustrations out sometimes. My family's always been very, very supportive of me. They were a little skeptical at first, but as soon as they saw that I was actually making a career out of it, doing quality pieces and not just kind of what they assumed tattooing was, they became much more supportive. So the entire process is a pretty in-depth one. Usually it's not something that is done in a single day. We do walk-ins, but I would say when you come in, you kind of talk out the idea with them, making sure it's going to be a tattoo that's going to last longer than, maybe a couple of years. Once we kind of finalize the design and get that all set up, we'll come in, prep, and set up the whole tattoo area, cover up everything with barriers, prep the skin, place a stencil, and then we proceed to start the tattooing, which I always will line first and then proceed on to shading. The most popular thing getting tattooed was tribal. Now it's more so moved on to, stars, and then it's even moved on to like feathers, bird silhouettes, infinity signs. Outside of that, there's always the classics like roses, daggers, skulls are very common as well. I would say that businesses and society can be a little bit more judgmental of people with certain areas tattooed, but as a whole, in the medical field, film, almost every film or field that I've seen has become more and more accepting of tattoos. People just don't like seeing hands and faces and necks as much, but even that is becoming much more accepted.